Hi, my name is Rachel, and today I'm going to be teaching you the concept of the mole in chemistry. So first of all, I'll explain what exactly a mole is. A mole is just a unit of measurement, and the idea of it was created by Amedeo Avogadro, an Italian chemist, back in the early 1800s, so we've been using it for a while now. One way to think of the mole is just to think of it as you would think of a dozen. So if you have a dozen eggs and you also have a dozen roses, clearly you have different masses, but you have the same quantity. That's one way to think of the elements. You could have the same number of moles of carbon, the same number of oxygen, but completely different masses. So one way we use to measure the mole is with Amedeo Avogadro's number, which is 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. Here's the number. Clearly you can tell it's huge. So I'm going to show you how to go from grams to molecules and moles to grams and moles to molecules. So first I'm going to show you grams to moles. Show you how to go from grams to moles. So determine the number of moles in 454 grams of CO2. So the first thing I'm going to do is write down what I'm given, which is 454 grams of CO2. Now I'm going to find out the atomic mass. And to do that, I'm going to look at my periodic table. And to find the atomic mass of CO2, I'm going to first find the atomic mass of just carbon and then of oxygen. So carbon is going to be 12.01. And we only have one carbon element, so it's just 12.01 times 1. Oxygen, we have 2 elements, so it's going to be 16 times 2, which is 32. And now we're going to add that together, and we're just going to get 44.01. So now that I have written down what's given, which is 454 grams of CO2, and I have 44.01 grams of CO2, I'm going to go ahead and put that on the bottom, because that way it will cancel out. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put 1 mole of CO2 on the top. And now I can just go ahead, multiply and divide, and I already did the math. The total is going to be 10.3 moles of CO2. And there you go. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys how to go from moles to grams. So we're going to convert 0.750 moles of NaOH to grams. So once again, the first thing I'm going to do is write down what I'm given, which is 0.750 moles of NaOH. And once again, we're going to get the atomic masses from the periodic table. So Na, which is sodium, is just 23 for the atomic mass. Oxygen is just 16 and hydrogen is 1. So we're going to add those all together. We're going to get 40. So 40 grams moles of NaOH. And this time we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the grams on the top rather than the bottom. So we're going to multiply. And I'm going to go ahead and put 1 mole of NaOH on the bottom. So that way, these two are going to cancel. Cross those out, and then we just go ahead and straight across multiply. So what I got was 30 grams of NaOH. And that's that. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you guys is how to go from grams to molecules. So how many molecules are in 0.200 grams of H2O? So just like the other problems, the first thing I'm going to do is write down what I'm given, which is 0.200 grams of H2O. Now this is the first problem I'm showing you guys that we're actually going to use Avogadro's number, which once again is 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. So what I'm going to do is multiply what I'm given by 6.022 times the 10 to the 23rd. And I also once again have to use our periodic table and get the atomic mass of H2O. So once again, hydrogen is just 1 and oxygen is 16. So I'm going to multiply hydrogen by 2. So we're going to get 2 plus 16, which is just 18. So we're going to go ahead and put 18 grams of H2O on the bottom. So this one we're actually going to multiply and divide. I'm going to cross out that, go ahead straight across, multiply, and then divide. I already did the math, and the answer I'm going to get is 6.69 molecules of H2O. So that's the mole concept in a nutshell. I hope you guys learned something from this video because I know I did.